Ladies and gentlemen, it is finally time for the first semi-finals of the Age of Empires 2 HD Edition Titans League tournament. Oh yes, are we hyped or not? Today will be decided who will be our first finalist. Will it be Ikyanik or will it be Flojo? Will it be the Dark Age group leader or will it be the second place from the Imperial Age group? Only losing one game to the Fate and then swinging back strong in the knockout stage. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. We can go to the matchup screen, which we will. And let's get rid of the hype music. And there we'll see exactly the same thing as you've been watching for the last 10 minutes. Yes. Well, maybe it's a better idea to go to this screen before we hop into that first game. Because, my god, it was quite a journey, don't you think? It was something. We've had some interesting matches. We've had some hype matches. We've had some questionable matches. It's all part of an awesome tournament like this one. And I can't believe we're already here after... It's already been 2.5 months, actually. And now we're here. It's incredible. And today... we will finally find out who will be that first finalist that will play next week. Now, today will go as follows. Unfortunately, both the players and I couldn't find the right opportunities in the schedule to do this live, because I wanted to do the semifinals live. So this best of 3 is pre-played. Next semifinals on Sunday, Laser Raptor vs. The Fate will be played live. Both players have confirmed they can play on Sunday. I, of course, am there, so they will be live. These will not. So, pre-played best of 3, one best of 3. The winner goes to the finals. Player 1 has been decided by a coin flip, and that player has... it will be Flojo. Flojo will be the player 1 for the best of 3. The first map will be Migration. We will go there very shortly. The map pool is the same for the semifinals and the finals. First game on Migration, second game on Oasis, and if the series is not decided, then we will return to Arabia, the oh so familiar map to most online Age of Empires players. If I sound a bit weird, that can be because I am weird, but also because I'm a little bit under the weather. I hope that will not affect the semifinals too much. It certainly isn't affecting my hype, but if you hear me coughing or sighing or dying, that's probably because I'm a little bit under the weather. But forget about all that. I think I've explained everything that there is to explain. The series is this is considered a new phase, just like the final. So every civilization is on the table for the best of 3. You still have 3 bands. You can play one civilization once per game. Sorry, not once per game, once per series. So you can play, let's say, the Persians once, the first game, and you can play them in game 2 or 3. Very logical, just how it's been in the entire tournament. Okay, with that out of the way, let's just hop in the very first game. I'm super hyped. I'm going to load it up, and it will be, as I said, the Migration game. Flojo versus Ikyanik. The music has started. I am looking at the screen and I will bring you guys to it. Here we go. Oh yes. And as you see, I have added a super awesome professional score screen. Oh yes. The quality of this stream is just through the roof, and it keeps just going up with the week. It's incredible, guys. I wish you could subscribe, but you can't, because I don't have 50s, or I don't even know how much I need. 75, 50, doesn't matter. Let's look at the finals here. On the bottom side, in blue, it is Flojo playing as the Saracens. On the top side, in red, It is Ickyanik playing as the Japanese versus the Saracens. Ooh yes, ooh yes. So Migration, I absolutely love Migration. This is a map that people very much love or hate. This is one of these maps you just have to like the play style. You have to like the changes that it brings. It is a map that is sometimes seen in professional play. Of course not too often, because it brings sometimes some unfortunate circumstances, but it is a map that you sometimes see. And in terms of map similarities to other maps, you could probably compare this map to Archipelago, a map we have seen in, let me say this correctly, I think round 4 of the group stage, and we've seen some pretty incredible matches, I would say, on Archipelago, and it has the same similarities in the way that that civilizations that have a mix between sea, or let's say naval and land strength, they thrive on maps like these. Naval civilizations are also quite nice, but I would say a mix is probably in most cases better. Of course, if you have a very, very distinct strategy, a very all-in naval strategy, it can definitely work, and it depends on the format, of course. But if you would sample 1,000 games and see what civ comes out on top, I would give it to the more versatile civs. Doesn't really matter really. We are seeing two players that are going for hybrid civilizations, as I would call them. Of course, we have the Japanese here for Ickyanik. The Japanese are super strong, and I very much like this civilization on a map like Migration, and that is because the shores that you have are very limited. The locations on where you are going to fight on the sea, they are very limited, so chances are very high that the battle is going to be somewhere around your fishing ships. That's a situation that occurs a lot on a map like Migration. Somewhat less so on a map like Islands and Archipelago, because the land masses are far greater and you have a lot more places to fight and defend. But on a map like Migration, where you start off on such a small island, chances are that you're fighting for harbor, for naval control, for naval priority. That word's back. And why are the Japanese so nice? Well, they of course have the super duper tanky fishing ships, and it's some players that just want to play a very strong civilization, often, and with strong I mean very flashy bonuses, often overlook a bonus like the fishing ship HP and piercing armor from the Japanese. But what it technically means is that if you get harassed by galleys from your opponent, it is nigh impossible for them to quickly snipe off a galley. They have double the HP. Look at that, 120 HP and 6 pierce armor. Let's go to Flojo's fishing ship, 60 HP and 4 pierce armor. That is insane. It means that galleys basically in the feudal age do 1 damage to 120 HP fishing ship. It takes them ages to take one down, so you can't really poke a Japanese player down on in a tense situation, because of course Ickyanik is going to have galleys in the feudal age. So I really like, there are a lot of reasons why I like the Japanese on a map like Migration, but that's certainly one of them. On the other hand, we have the Saracens. That seems like I hate Saracens. No, I was losing my train of thought. The Saracens are also a very nice pick. I've stated a lot that I like the Saracens because they are just funky. They are considered bad, but that might be true. But they are very good if you have a very distinct, very niche strategy and execute it well. And that's why I like them. They can surprise you. And I hope that Flojo has something cooked up, because it's the semi-finals. We've seen Flojo do some very aggressive things, and we've seen him had some easier games, but this is the semi-finals. This is, if anything, this is the time to really hit that go button. And well, the galleys of the Saracens are of course stronger, and you have that interesting market exchange. Yeah, we will have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. I'm interested in this matchup. I'm very interested in this matchup. We hear a house blocking, and we just see a very close, even game as we would expect here. A couple of idling villagers for Yang. That's a little bit painful right now. That's way too many villagers to have idling at this moment. Yes, be on top of your game now. It's slowly getting to 100 point lead for Flojo, but it's really nothing to write home about at this point. 4 miners on gold for Flojo, no miners on gold for Igionic. What is that? He should really start. It's minute 10. It's really time to get some gold in there. In fact, it's probably time to get to the next age. Both players are really slow. They're really slow. That's funny. Migration is an interesting map, because there are some games played on it on a pro level, but the strategies are not so much fleshed out as they are on a map like Arabia, I would say, especially on this level. So, what's the most logical thing to do? Is it gaining naval priority and denying your opponent the big island entirely? Well, you could try, but the risk is that you fail, and then you probably lose, because if he gets the island for free because you just invested all your resources in naval priority, that's a big problem. So it could work, but it's high risk, I would say. So what are you going to do then? Okay, are you going to protect your fishing ships and settle on the big island? Okay. Well, what civilization is my enemy playing? Can I contest that? Is my civilization favored on land? God, I love this map. It's so there are a lot of questions. There are a lot of questions that are not clear. They're not necessarily super clear from the get-go as they would be on a map like Arabia, where some civilizations are just bad. And it's very clear why. I think migration opens up for a lot more wonkiness, which is always what you want. It's a late game for both players. It seems like both players are a little bit out of their comfort zone with this map, because it's minute 14. No one has gone fuel late. Flojo will reach it right now. Igionic has not clicked up. What is this? He is not clicked up, and he is not going for gold. So what is that? I'm not sure. There are a lot of woodcutters. You would of course expect that on a map like migration, but this might be a little bit overkill. This might be a little bit. Did he forget to mine gold? I think he did forget to mine gold. I think that's the case, because he is now on 2 docks, going mass fishing ship. Yes, it is Japanese. Yes, they can afford getting very late galleys. You can use that. But minute 15, that is way out. We have not seen this from Igionic at all. So I'm curious. I mean, I'm not going to say that it's a mistake, because we've seen him do very interesting things that won him games. But I couldn't immediately say why he did this. We will have to wait and see. Yes, because the case is that Flojo is feudal age, now going through to 3 docks, and is already moving up with the galley. Now, as I said, this won't be an immediate problem for Igionic, because he has Japanese fishing ships. And we will see in a very short while what I mean by that. You have all the time in the world. So now he clicked up. He will probably immediately go for galleys. I'm hoping he will, because he's super late. He should know he's late. He doesn't have the gold though. He has now. Did he? No, there's no market. My god, this game. It's already... So Flojo is going for some sort of double teaming. Ickonic would punish that very hard if he wasn't this behind. I wouldn't advise against doing this against a Japanese player. Look at this. You would have had 2 fishing ships dead by now if it was not a Japanese player. This is just not doing anything. So that's so nice about the Japanese. And again, I wonder if this was a conscious decision by Ickonic, but the thing is that he doesn't really get anything out of it really. He has a lot of food, so yes, he could go to the Castle Age very quick. That could be the build, but I'm not seeing him tacking up for that. And he's going way too. What is going on? His villager distribution is very off. Is he nervous? Is that it? I'm not sure, because this is the problem now. Yes, you have strong fishing ships, but 3 galleys uncontested will kill it all anyway. And Ickonic is now trying to fight him 3v1. Now the second galley is on, tries to get that galley down, so we will go to a 2v1. Get some tanking in for the fishing ship. The fishing ship can easily tank. You can use them to tank. You can just easily send them up front and let them tank some hits. But what is Ickonic doing? He's trying to fight 5v1, 4v1. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what this is. It looks like he's a little bit nervous because we have not seen errors like these from Ickonic before. Look at the amount of gold miners. That's crazy. Okay, so we have Flojo that now has naval priority, very, very high naval priority, is on 3 docks, and is now on the island and will go for a dock on the other side. I think that's a very nice choice. So this is looking very bad for Ickonic right off the bat. He is already 800 points behind. And to no surprise. And what will he do to stop this? Again, he should really use the tankiness of the fishing ships to win this battle. He could if Flojo... Because Flojo is doing a lot of things. Yes, he is ahead, but that also means you have a lot of things to do. So you could use your fishing ships to tank. You should definitely do that. But look at this, they are clumping. He's just letting fishing galleys die. Let's not forget that Ickonic won the game. Oh my god, what is this? I'm baffled. Let's not forget that Ickonic won the Archipelago game to Laser Raptor solely out of galley micro. His galley micro was very good, and this is not good. This is not good whatsoever. So now the numbers are going up. And Ickonic should just store his galleys. I mean, he has all the time in the world. He has all kinds of fishing ships. He's again committing to galley fights that he cannot win. And he's GGing. Yes. I'm not surprised. Well, I said that as if I were surprised, but it's just I did not expect the series to start this way. Ickonic will GG after 21 minutes and... well, botching the early game there. Maybe he was not familiar with this map, but then even then, the galley early game, we have seen that he knows how to execute that, and this is not the way to do it. So that will be 1-0 for Flojo already at the 21st minute mark. Let me go ahead and change that very quickly. I think it will update right now. It's a bit. It should update anytime soon. I'm hoping it does. But that means that it will be 1-0 for Flojo on the migration map, and now we will go to the somewhat more traditional maps. So maybe that will help Ionic, but that is a very interesting start. Yes, indeed. I mean, let's go to the resources collected. Look at this. Ionic, he started off mining gold way too late. Way too late. And I think he forgot, because then he just committed 1,000 villagers to gold, and he still has less than Flojo. And it was also less effective. So, look at that. Minute 16 Feudal Age. That is some of the latest Feudal Age timings we have seen in the entire tournament. I'm hoping this was the migration map for Ionic. I'm hoping that he will know how to deal with Flojo on the other maps. Or this will be a very quick series. Without any further ado, I am shocked. Let's very quickly go to that next game. That will be the second game on Oasis. The second game will be on Oasis, and yeah, I don't know what to say. It's already loaded up. Should I have waited? Should I have taken time and I'm not sure. I'm completely out of my comfort zone here. Well, I guess we're already in the game. Here we go. On the right side, in blue, it is Flojo.
Ready.
This time playing as the Britons. The second game for Flojo will be the Britons on Oasis. A very nice pick indeed. And look at this. It's disgusting. Let's be honest. On the left side, in red, it's Ionic playing as the Celts. Or, and I will say this maybe for the last time, the Celts. Depending on what you prefer. It's all okay, guys. Pronouncing things differently is okay. No one's dying. So, the next game will be on Oasis. Way more familiar to regular players, I would say. And it has some interesting dynamics. Of course, you have the issue that you have to wall off two sides, and then you have to kind of pressure one side. In the case of Flojo, he can pressure three sides, because this is disgusting. This is ridiculous. The map generation, I mean, after the game we've just seen, you would give Ionic some slack, but this is very nice for Flojo. It's lucky for Ionic that this is a snow map, because this otherwise it would have been a water lake with fish in it, and that would have just been, yeah, that wouldn't have been nice. And the nasty thing is that Ionic will never detect that, so you can't really call a remake for that. And yeah, I mean, you want to win, so Flojo would just probably make use of that. But that's a little bit unfortunate for Ionic, and I'm pretty sure that if the game goes long enough that Flojo will abuse this in some way. He probably should. I mean, he will notice if he didn't already know. He already noticed that this is open. I have played a lot of Oasis games, and I mean a lot. And that this is happening, not even, I would say, like 1 in 100, I would say. Not too often. That it happens, and that it happens to you, so that's very lucky. But it is the Celts versus the Britons, and yeah, that's a fairly classic matchup, of course. So the Britons, I think, are very nice, because Oasis, a lot of times, Oasis maps degrade to a situation that you have that stalemate somewhere over here or over there, and just you're fighting for pressure. And the Britons are very nice for getting that, putting that pressure down, and of course with the longbow archers. Now the Celts can do the same thing, of course, with the very strong onagers. But the thing is, if microed well and messed up well, the longbowmen from the Britons can deal very quickly with the onagers from the Celts. So I would say, all in all, a pretty interesting matchup. the Celts have very strong cavalry, very strong infantry, but they have very weak archers. So they cannot match the Britons in terms of archers. But I would say it is probably in the Celts' favor to do the pressuring early on, because you really don't want to defend versus the Britons. That if they just mass up the longbowmen on a map like Oasis, it's super hard to deal with. So we will have to see how that goes. Igionic will walk into the town center of Flojo, dodges the arrows there, so that would not be good at this point in the game to lose your scout. So that's a little bit nice there for Igionic, cutting himself some slack. And what will both players do? Now we are back on a land map, and we know that Flojo can be very aggressive on the land map. So, what will be the strategy that he will pick? And how will Igionic react? Because we've seen Igionic struggling versus early pressure. We've seen that Igionic doesn't really have the tools to deal with that correctly. And it could be that another idle villager and another idle villager. Igionic is not really on top of his game. I think that's becoming pretty clear today. And that could be a very big problem if you're in the semifinals and you're 1-0 behind. Did he just lose his scout? He lost his scout. That is very bad. And it seems that he just lost it to that sir over there smacking him to death. That's not a good way to go. He could have... Yeah. I guess I'm not sure how they communicate their information to the Lord, but they do. They just scream to the other side of the field, I guess. But technicalities aside, he's already going for farms very early on. Is he? Did he click up to the feudal age? No, he did not. It's a minute. 8:30 seconds, so that will be very early, but it would certainly be possible. But that's just very early farm. So, did he do both his boars already? I'm not really paying attention. I'm sorry, guys. But Flojo will have that information advantage there with the scout that's alive. And as I said, Igionic has some issues in the past with the early aggression, and he must know that Flojo is a very aggressive player. So I wonder if he maybe practiced for that, or if he's going to maybe do some counter aggression. But I think that what I was trying to say is that if there's any player that could be the how do you say that? It could be the weak spot of Igionic. It should probably be Flojo. Flojo is the person that attacked the earliest in the tournaments, if you look at all the games. And Igionic is a player that maybe has had the most issues with it. From the players that are, let's say, from the players that are considered a favorite of the tournament, I think Igionic has the most issues with the early pressure. It's minute 10 and we see a click up for Igionic. And we see a click up for Flojo. So that's fairly late for Flojo. He isn't not building a barracks. He does have the wood, so it could be that he is going to build it right now. But this is, in terms of build order, very slow for these players. And I would put it in favor of Flojo. So maybe he realizes that. Maybe he knows. Maybe he picked the British for that. If he gets to that stalemate, if he gets to mass up the Britons, the longbowmen rather, that's a situation he would like to be in. Now that could be. Again, he still didn't make a barrack. He didn't make a barrack. Didn't build a barracks. I'm constantly losing my train of thought. Maybe some water will help. Then we will see the 12-minute feudal age for Flojo, and Igionic will follow up very soon. Both players still didn't make any production buildings. Didn't build any production buildings. That's very interesting. So both players. So it seems going for a fast castle. However, Flojo is on four gold miners pretty early on. So he will have more gold than he needs for a fast castle. So maybe that's a mistake. Maybe he has something planned with that gold, but that's the case. There we see an archer range. Wait, did I miss that? Wait, am I? Oh, I'm blind. Here's a barracks. Never mind. I'm just super blind. There's a barracks there, but nonetheless, he's not really making it for. He's not going for drushes or early men-at-arms. It seems he's going for the archery range, which is interesting. As I said, the Celts have a very weak. Oh, the moonwalking scout, nice. The Celts have some very weak archers, and well. Brits have very strong archers, so it would seem he is going to maybe make skirmishers out of them. Yes, he's just going to assume. He's going to assume the archer, so he knows he's up against the Britons. He has no scouts, so he has to just guess. So he's going to make some counter skirmishers. So completely understandable from that point, but it does look like Yonick is a little bit afraid. This is a corner play, I would call it. This is a little bit of a corner play. These are things you're not doing to win, but you're doing to not lose. And we've seen in the past how that will turn out. I'm hoping for Yonick that this is part of a bigger plan for the Oasis map. But it does look like Flojo will go for that fast castle, and that will be very good for him because his opponent is making units, is making counter units for units he is not making. So that's a very nice lead for Flojo, already almost 300 points behind, and it's very much again looking like Flojo is just a couple of steps ahead of Yonick. But most of these steps are because Yonick just did a few steps backwards. Flojo didn't necessarily run harder, or faster, or whatever. And having said that, we have seen that Yonick is pretty good at the late game micro and the late game micro. He is pretty good at multitasking, so the late game is where he is strong. We haven't seen that necessarily from Flojo. If anything, the later games didn't go so well for him. We've seen that in the game versus the Fate. He made a lot of mistakes there that cost him the game. So that may be something that he just hit for the entire tournament and it is also very good at, or it's something that he's just willing to challenge Yonick at. He is one game ahead. He can lose this game. Nothing will happen then. So that could be a possibility. Now again, only one skirmisher for Yonick, and that's I mean, what's one skirmisher going to do really?
Airlove.
I don't understand. So he has the building to go castle, and he will go castle. So he clicked up to the castle age a little bit late, but he won't be much. He won't be too behind on Flojo. Flojo could have been way faster if he optimized his villager distribution. So that's nice for Flojo. And he will lose his scouts. So no scouts for both players. Both players lost their scouts. 11, yeah, that's a little bit of a 11 there for Flojo. But yeah, both players not having scouts. He did get to scout something. He did see the archery range, so that's a very valuable piece of information right there. He also sees the deficit in points, and if you see the deficit in points and you see the building, you can assume that this is the only tech building that he really got. That's something that you can probably deduct out of that. So he knows that his opponent is going archers or skirmishers. Probably skirmishers is also something you would probably consider then. And what is going to happen now? Because Flojo has hit that castle age, will instantly drop down that second town center, has some food and gold in the bank. So he could probably use that to pressure Yonick at some way. Because another very important thing to note is Yonick is making no effort whatsoever to wall off. He has made a stables now. So it's looking like he's going for knights or something. But he is not walling off. So he's afraid for the pressure, made the archery range and the skirmishers, went for the counter tactic there, but then didn't wall off or doesn't really position his buildings in a defensive way. So there are a lot of things that do not really synergize well with the game in this game for Ickonic. And again, to me, it's all saying that he's just a little bit off of his game. He's I'm not if he's nervous or maybe he's had a bad day or I don't know. But this is not the Ickonic that we've seen this tournament. And the big question will be, can he regain that power, that prowess that he's had? We will see very shortly, because he has made some mites. He has a stables. Let's just go over here, Max. Let's calm down and let's do what you have to do. He has not made any upgrades. 10 damage, 2-2, just normal knights. But his opponent did do the very logical thing to do on an Oasis map. This is maybe a little bit short to your base, but it's a wall off, and that knight will not go very far. But because Flojo will probably just instantly drop houses or walls behind this, so nothing on the hand there, as we would say in the Netherlands. Ickonic now also going to double town center, but his opponent is already on double town center. Has not made any units. Is making has appointed 1,000 villagers to stone, and is already massing up longbowmen. And this is exactly what I meant. This was the plan from Flojo. He wants to match Ickonic in that pressure game in the late game. He's saying my Britons can fight your longbowmen. Let's not forget that Ickonic had the counter pick here. He is player 2, so he had picked the civilization second. So the Celts is the counter pick to the Britons. And Flojo is saying, that's great, mate. I'm just going to match you in that late game. And Ickonic essentially lets him go there for free and has no way to really get there. Now this is also very annoying when things like these happen, but that's life. And what is Ickonic going to do? Because he did not wall off, and he's seeing the wall off from, maybe he forgot, but he's seeing the wall off here. That you should draw the conclusion that a wall off would be a nice thing. A lot of high level pro players do not wall off. Yes, that's sometimes they don't do that, but that's because they are literal gods. On this level of play you should probably wall it off. You cannot deal with the micromanagement, not even Ickonic, and certainly not today, so it seems. So I do not understand why he's not walling off. I'm not even understanding why he's building houses like this. He could probably, yes, he could wall it off quicker, but he's afraid of archers. So again, there is no cohesion there. And now the click up for Flojo with the longbowman. They have the fletching upgrade already. The knight will go in, but that knight will die. Yes. Rip. And again, this knight won't do anything. So there's zero pressure from Ickonic. Zero pressure, and he's 600 points behind, and he's about to get attacked by a couple of longbowmen that he doesn't really have anything against. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The second game in this semi-finals. We are not even 45 minutes into this stream, and it's not looking good, guys. It's not looking good. I'm not gonna lie about it. I mean, I don't have to. You can watch it. You're not retarded, probably. What is he going to do? There, the first villagers will go. He will bell his entire town. That's what's going to happen. So crippling his entire economy. Again, this is going to be something that Flojo is very happy about. And now he will have to kill these longbowmen in order to keep the pressure down. Now, that knight will connect to the longbowman, but the longbowmen easily have the damage to deal with that. I'm pretty sure Flojo will get. Look at where was this blacksmith again? Was it over here? No. Here. Oh, he's not going for Bodkin arrow yet, so I would have guessed that he would go for the upgrade since he had the resources, but because Bodkin arrow here would have been devastating, but that's not the case. Ickonic will be capable of holding this. He can hold this, and it does seem that Flojo is not really interested in pressuring this side. But he knows. He knows he has all the time in the world. He sees the point deficit for Ikionic. A siege worker will go down. He sees that Ikionic has no means of really pressuring him back. He knows he is one game ahead. He has all the time in the world. And I think this is maybe the biggest advantage for Flojo. He feels all this room mentally and also mechanically in the game. And I think Ikionic's world is just getting smaller and smaller from the first minute of this best of 3. From the people who have just started watching, well, very welcome, guys. This is the Titans League tournament, the tournament for Age of Empires 2 HD games and other strategy games in the future, possibly. If you haven't done so, please follow my stream, because I really want to get affiliate and continue on doing these tournaments. There will be another tournament after this one. And I'm getting closer to deciding what that tournament will be. So more on that probably when the finals are there. Yeah, welcome, I guess. Let's just continue. Let's stop selling out. Let's continue watching Age of Empires. He's canceling the castle that he's building. He still hasn't upgraded Bodkin Arrow, but the skirmishers have that +1 armor upgrade, so they can deal with the longbowmen. But there's the Mangonel. Can they deal with that? The answer is no. Not with Epic Micro. And Micro, we have seen Ikionic being out Micro before versus Flojo. Oh no, please don't. Let's go to the side of Ikionic. You really should micro that. Dodge that. That's a very nice forward step. Can he get the Mangonel down? That would be huge. Yes, he has. He's in minimum range of the Mangonel, but the other one is going down there, trying to shoot it, dodging the arrows. That's some very nice micro from Ikionic. Let's not. And that's not. It was very nice, but he should have walked forward probably and put in that last hit. That was very well executed, but the last bit was a little bit unfortunate. He cannot afford to lose all these skirmishers. Now the longbowman on top of the hill, and he's searching for that angle. He's struggling for that angle. He's knowing that the castle is built there. That time is not his friend. But he cannot stop it. And look at this. He cannot decide what to do. That's what this is, I can assure you. And now the pressure is all on this side. And it's nothing to do, guys. 800 points behind already. He has waypointed the skirmishers towards me and now just letting them die. All sorts of mistakes you really want to avoid at this point. And the amounts of pressure, the kill switch that has been flipped on for a Flojo. Is it too hard for Ikionic? Is it too hard for Ikionic to deal with? He's getting punished so hard for not walling off whatsoever. And I do not understand why he didn't do it. Now he has a Mangonel Force, but as I said, these are longbowmen. Very well equipped to deal with a Mangonel. Yes, the Mangonel has 6 pierce armor. But with the range you are having, you can easily deal with that. I'm hoping the Flojo, he knows how to micro this. Here, look at that. Oh! Never mind. Never mind. I think that's huge. That's huge for Ikionic that Flojo didn't move his units there. He didn't have to lose that whatsoever, but I guess he did. And that gives Ikionic a lot of time. Kills the Mangonel. Can he kill the other Mangonel? He kills the longbowman. The other Mangonel goes down, but because the Mangonels are in range of the tower, 3 Mangonels will go down. He will save his other Mangonel. So 1 versus 3 Mangonel. The Hail Mary fight for Ikionic. Is this what he needs? Is this the change? No, because he's not moving the Mangonel. You cannot stop looking over here. You have to play like an actual god right now. You have to spam H, get the villagers down, do some things in like 2 seconds and then go back. Maybe 2 seconds is even too much. But that was a huge exchange for Ikionic, and that will buy him some time. It will buy him some time. It was a big mistake for Flojo to let that Mangonel get in range of the town center. You cannot go in range of the town center like that now. Ikionic is now going full archery range mode, going for that counter longbowman play, and that's probably not wrong. But again, this is just Flojo's game to lose. This entire map is his oyster. He is 1,000 points ahead, and this is the situation where Wampersnor was in the quarterfinals. Ikionic is not losing, but he's certainly also not winning. He's playing not to lose and not to win. And that's not how you win a strategy game like HP March. You need a plan. And what is the plan? The plan for now is out-micro his opponent. It can be done, but he should move his skirmishes. That's not the way to do it. These skirmishes are getting low. One more hit and he will lose more skirmishes. Is this the way to go? Is this what will happen? He did hit the Mangonel with the Mangonel. We'll get that DPS advantage now over Flojo, which should really move up the hill with the Mangonel. Should really move up and kill the Longbowman. He's not. More skirmishers move in, trying to get that skirmisher army down. The step forward for Ionic will prevent these skirmishers from dying. And he should probably kill that Mangonel as fast as he can. He's going for trying to go for the Longbowman. One hit again for the Mangonel, and this is going down. This is all going down. This is the last game. If this army dies, I can assure you, the win for Ionic is 1,000 steps away. But there is the Imperial Age for Flojo. This is the time in the game where Flojo can really decide the terms of the battlefield. Two sneak villagers, some shenanigans here from Flojo. What is he going to do? He's just walking in there. Because Ionic is not walling anything. He's allowing Flojo to do anything he wants. Anything. Two full Mangonel hits on these units, and it's a 2-0, and we have our finalist. I can assure you. It's not there yet, but let's be honest here. And this is a problem, because in a game where Flojo can decide the terms of the battle, that's the only thing he really has now. Flojo has to walk up. Flojo has to fight over here. It was Ionic's ground to fight. It was Ionic's ground, it was Ionic's turn to decide where the battle on a tile basis was fought. But now with the trebuchets out, that entire dynamic is changing. That's one of the major reasons why people go to the... by the way, I'm not sure what these villagers were doing. They just died. Luckily for Ionic, he now has a lot of skirmishers. But does he have the power to deal with trebuchets? Are there trebuchets in here? No. I'm not sure why he's not making traps, because that's just it's an instant game winner. The siege of the church has begun. There are two relics in there, so it's probably a good idea. Ionic really needs to get Imperial himself. He's still on double town center. He's now probably trying to... I mean, he's not even walling it off here. So is it stubbornness? What is it? I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. The third castle for Flojo. Ionic is just losing his Mangonel there for really no reason. Will luckily for him prevent Flojo from getting all that free gold from the church very soon. Look at this, he's just losing units left and right for no reason. And the amount of pressure that a British player can put out on an Oasis map like this is immense. You can just stay back with a lot of long marches and just snipe your opponent down. Now luckily for Ionic, Flojo has made a lot of mistakes. Can he get the Mangonel exchange? All the time that Ionic can get is good. It's very good. Another siege workshop for Ionic. So it seems like he's going to put some more pressure on this siege. The composition is skirmishers and Mangonels. It has some very obvious weaknesses. And if Flojo would just switch deck here and surprise him, he could really get a lot of momentum out of it. Can you turn up the mic? Yes, I can. Give me 1 second. I think that will help. Let me know if it helps. Luckily I had the chance to do that, because for the first time in a long time this game it's been quiet, and there has been a build-up. And what will be Ionic's response to all the aggression that's been going on? He's 2,000 points behind. I don't think that we've seen Ionic be this behind. Look at Flojo. Is this disrespect? I'm not sure what that was, but it was a little bit random, certainly. Another workshop will go down, and he now has the tools to deal with this. But as soon as Flojo sends out the trebuchets, that's a whole different story. Now, Iconic will go out with the Rams, but I'm not sure that he can actually do it. Oh my god, he should really dodge that better if he wants to make this work. Because the Rams, they cannot really do much, because there are Mangonels over here that Iconic cannot do. He didn't make any cavalry. Yes, look at this. They will go down. That was doomed to fail. They will actually, Flojo will get double kills over there. He will get full hits on the skirmishers. He should really stop getting hit like that. Now, that's an onager by the way, it's not Mangonel. And that means that you only need one hit at this point. Now, the Rams will get to the castle, but the Mangonels can very easily deal with the Rams. Can very easily deal with the Rams. This is not a cost efficient or effective strategy. This is none of both. It looks like they're gonna get a little bit out of options here. Yes, here these are the knights he needed. These are the knights he needed before he saved the Rams to get rid of the Mangonels. Now will he get rid of the Mangonels? Look at all the damage. That's probably enough damage to do. There are the the longbowmen, and now it's a big problem because Iconic just suicided basically all his skirmishers for a little bit of damage to that castle. That wouldn't have done the thing that he hoped to do. Never. Did he think that he would get 2 castles with that? I'm not sure. Luckily for him, he will get some hits on the longbowman. But look at this. Look at how free Flojo is feeling right now. He is knowing he's all the time in the world. Yeah, just walk back. That's fine. I'll just hide in my castles again. And I'm just going to out-micro you. Because I'm not 2,000, but I'm now 4,000 points ahead of you. That's a lot. That's a lot of points. And this game needs a miracle. This game needs a very, very definitive plan for Iconic to deal with this pressure. And it seems like Iconic just doesn't have that right now. He's really not on top of his game today. That's I can definitely say that right now. Look at this. No resets on the lumberjacks. Just suiciding units in a strategy that's not really going to work in the first place. It's all a little bit unfortunate. It's all a little bit unfortunate. It's looking very bad for it. When will Flojo decide that enough is enough? Again, still no Imperial or trebuchets. Flojo has been Imperial Age for decades. Iconic, he could go there, but does he want to? He has a lot of resources. He should probably make some castles, by the way. I'm not sure why he's not doing that. And the amount of onagers is getting very troubling. That's not something you want. And that will be a full hit. That will be a total eradication of that army. And I think that's game. That was the last mistake for Iconic, I'm pretty sure. Look at the amount of onagers. Yes, there are some knights out there, but Iconic knows there are a lot of longbowmen in these castles, and once he walks up, he just dies. The onagers will very soon probably try to bring down the economy, bring down the town centers, and Iconic doesn't really seem to have the answer to this strategy. He has almost 2k resources of the skirmisher required unit resources in the bank, but he's not using them. The onagers, the chemistry onagers, are super hard to do with. Yes, you're seeing he wants to find an angle, but instead just takes a full hit while he's getting bombarded by longbowmen archers. The pressure is too much. There the knights go. The last possible answer for Iconic to deal with the amount of onagers that he has. And now the onagers are just free to walk up to the town center and to kill everything that Flojo has. That Iconic has, but Iconic is losing his mind, making some awesome. It sounds pretty good actually. There's the 11 for Flojo, and there's the GG from Iconic, and that means that just like that, the favorite of this tournament, maybe the people that said this would be the champion will be defeated, and the first finalist of the Titans League tournament 2018 and 19, I guess, I don't know, is going to be Flojo. Flojo will defeat Ickonic in a very convincing 2-0 series, wiping him off the map on Migration and just pressuring him to death on Oasis with really no answer. What an incredible performance from Flojo. What a strong performance. And what kind of confidence do we see? Let's see here. He's saying you're out macroing and microing your opponents in the late game. Let's go late game, my friend. Let me see how good you really are. And he completely wipes the floor with Ickonic. Let's put it like that. At the end of the game, he is 6,000 points ahead. What a convincing way to go to the finals for Flojo. Congratulations. Flojo will be one of the players that will be in that finals next week against either the Fate or Laser Raptor. And with that, it's just 8 o'clock. And just like that, the first semifinals is over. Incredible. Incredible stuff, guys. It's unbelievable. It's the situation that I just put out in front of you with the beginning of this game. Oasis is a map that typically has this situation where you just have one line of pressure, one stalemate that you have to hold, and a British player that's massing longbow archers. It's just so incredibly hard to deal with. It's so hard to deal with, and when you're behind from the get-go, with everything you do, you're putting yourself behind. That's making it harder and harder. It's not more than logical if you look at it like that Flojo won this game. Again, congratulations to him. And let's see if he can make it to win that epic prize money and of course the honor of being the first Titans League champion. 205 units scaled to 66. 205 to 66. That's a major difference. That's a major difference. Look at the gold collected. 13k versus 5k. More, let's say, traditional Feudal Age timing from both players, but still considering, I don't know. I just don't know, guys, what this was. I'm a little bit 77 villagers against 96 at 49 minutes. That's super low. This was not the best day for Ickonic. I think that everyone that watched the tournament regularly knows this. But that's how it goes sometimes. That's how it goes. Sometimes you just don't have your day on the day that you really need to have your day. That's life. And just like that, the first semifinals are over. I'm going to quit this game for now. I didn't update the brackets yet, but I will very soon. And yes, that's it. That was it. I'm a little bit. I don't know what to say. I want to thank you all for watching. That was a very awesome series. Shorter than I thought, and not as close as I thought it would be. But that's what it is. We will see Laser Raptor versus the Fate this Sunday. Another migration map, another Oasis map, and possibly another Arabia map. Now the stream will be a little different because that game will indeed be live, because both players can play live, and there will be some short breaks in between, just very short breaks, and there will be some other technicalities to the live stream, but that's something to look out forward for. So we will then experience it all together. So, the Fate versus Laser Raptor. Who will face Flojo in that finals next week? We will have to wait and see for Sunday. For now, I want to thank you all very much for watching. It was awesome. I will have... let me let me also tease that the community games are being played as we speak. Of course, they're going to be pre-played, and they will be streamed somewhere around that final. So I've not forgotten about that, guys. Don't worry, there will be community games, and they will be shown around the finals. I will see you guys Sunday, 7 o'clock. The Fate versus Laser Raptor. For now, have a very nice evening, and take care, guys. If you haven't done so already, please follow this stream. If you're watching right now, you don't have a Twitch account, it's super easy to create one. It's super fast, and you would really help me out. So if you would like to support this stream in just the easiest way you could, just get me that follow, because I really need it, guys. If you could do that for me, then I will promise you that the coming semifinals and finals will be epic. Guys, have a very nice evening, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.